Attention passionate Montreal, Canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Montreal Canadiens fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. We all know that the NHL offseason is always filled with surprises, rumors, and big moves. And this year, one of the most talked about stories is definitely the potential trade involving Travis Kelce. Yes, the NFL superstar heading over to the Cleveland Browns. Now I know what you're thinking, Kelce in the NFL, not hockey, right? Well, that's true, but what if I told you that the kind of power shift happening in the NFL right now could have echoes in the hockey world as well? That's because, just like in hockey, where team dynamics and roster changes can completely alter the landscape, the NFL's offseason buzz, especially involving a player like Kelce, can send shockwaves throughout the league, including our beloved Montreal Canadiens. But let's focus on the Canadiens for a moment, because, as fans, we're always watching for the next big move, the next star to rise or fall, and how it might affect our team's journey toward the Stanley Cup. The Canadiens have been in a bit of a rebuilding phase lately, trying to find their identity after a few tumultuous seasons. They're developing young talent, trying to strike the right balance between veteran leadership and fresh energy. And every move, every trade rumor, every draft pick impacts their trajectory. So when we hear about a star NFL player like Kelce potentially switching teams, it makes us think about how similar moves could happen in hockey, big trades, blockbuster signings, players changing the game in Montreal or elsewhere. Now, circling back to this NFL story, the rumors about Travis Kelce possibly being traded from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Cleveland Browns have been heating up lately. It's a shocker because Kelce has been such a cornerstone for the Chiefs, a player who's not only an incredible tight end, but also a leader on and off the field. His ability to make clutch plays, to receive passes in tight coverage, and to be a reliable target for Patrick Mahomes has made him one of the most feared players in the league. And yet now, whispers suggest that Kelce could be on the move, heading to the Browns, a team that's been looking to add more firepower to their offense for quite some time. The Browns, as you know, have been building steadily. They've got a solid roster, a young quarterback, and a defense that's hungry to take the next step. But what they've been missing is that extra piece, that game-changing player who can elevate the entire attack. Kelce, with his experience, his leadership, and his undeniable talent, could be exactly what they need. Imagine him lining up alongside their young quarterback, creating mismatches and opening up the game like never before. It's a tantalizing prospect, and it's got NFL fans buzzing because, let's face it, Kelce's impact on the field is enormous. His route running, his catching ability, and his football IQ make him one of the most complete tight ends in league history. But here's the kicker, the negotiations are still in the early stages. Nothing is official yet. Sources close to the teams suggest that talks are progressing and that a deal could be on the horizon. If it happens, it would be one of the most significant trades of the offseason, and it would definitely shift the power dynamics in the AFC North, possibly making the Browns instant contenders. For Kelce, it's a fresh start, a new challenge, and a chance to add more hardware to his already illustrious career, including his Super Bowl victory with the Chiefs. For the Browns, it's about adding that veteran presence, that clutch performer who can be the difference maker in close games. Now, fans are already speculating about how Kelce would adapt to a new environment, how he would fit into the Cleveland offense, and what kind of chemistry he would develop with his new teammates. Would he be the leader that the Browns need to propel them into playoff contention? Would he help elevate their offensive line's blocking schemes, or become a go-to target in critical third-down situations? These are questions that NFL analysts are dissecting as we speak. And it's not just the fans. Even the players and coaches are watching closely because a player of Kelce's caliber can change a team's fortunes in a heartbeat. And let's not forget about the historical context. Kelce, already a Super Bowl champion, has a legacy of clutch performances and record-breaking seasons. His leadership qualities are often highlighted in NFL circles, making him a natural fit for teams that want to build a winning culture. If he does make the move, It could inspire other NFL stars to consider similar bold decisions, reshaping team strategies across the league. This kind of move, if finalized, would be remembered as one of the defining moments of this offseason. Now, bringing this back to hockey, imagine a scenario where a star player in the NHL, like a top winger or center, is involved in similar rumors, maybe changing teams just before the season starts, shaking up the division, and setting the stage for an exciting race towards the playoffs. That's what makes these stories so compelling. They're not just about one player or one team, they're about the entire league, the dynamics, the rivalries, and the quest for glory. And as Montreal Canadiens fans, we're always keen to see how these shifts might impact our team's chances, especially as we look towards the upcoming season, hopeful for a strong playoff run and a shot at that elusive Stanley Cup. In the meantime, we keep our eyes glued to the latest reports, waiting for official confirmations from the NFL and NFL teams involved. We analyze every detail, every quote, every piece of information because, let's be honest, this kind of news fuels our passion for sports. It's about the thrill of the game, the anticipation of new chapters, and the excitement of watching history being made. Whether it's NFL or NHL, the sports world never stops, and neither do we. We love discussing these stories, debating the potential impacts, and imagining how they might shape the future of our favorite teams, including the Canadiens. So fans, as this NFL saga unfolds, as Kels potentially joins the Browns and creates a ripple effect, remember that the NHL is always watching, always learning. Trades, signings, and player movements in one league often inspire similar moves in the other. That's the beauty of professional sports. It's a constant cycle of change, growth, and excitement. And here in Montreal, we're always at the edge of our seats, eager to see what the next chapter holds for our beloved Canadiens. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Montreal Canadiens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now, talking specifically about the Canadiens' current situation, it's clear that the team is in a phase of rebuilding and retooling. The front office has been investing in young talent, trying to find those core pieces that can lead them back to the top. Players like Cole Caulfield and Juraj Slavkovsky are expected to play pivotal roles in this new era. Caulfield, with his goal-scoring ability, has already shown flashes of brilliance, and many fans are excited to see how he develops over the next few seasons. Slavkovsky, the promising Slovak winger, has the size and skill to become a real force in the NHL, and his progress will be something to watch closely. Meanwhile, the Canadiens' defense has been an area of focus. With players like Kaiden Guhle and Arbor Xhekaj, Montreal is trying to build a robust back end that can support their goaltenders and help control the pace of the game. And speaking of goaltenders, the team has been experimenting with different options, looking for that reliable presence between the pipes to anchor their defense. All of these pieces are part of the bigger puzzle, and every offseason move, every trade rumor, influences how the team will shape up for the upcoming season. The Canadiens fans are also eagerly awaiting the development of some of their veteran leaders, like Brendan Gallagher and Joel Armia, who bring intensity and experience to the locker room. The hope is that this mix of youth and veteran presence can propel Montreal back into playoff contention, perhaps even making a surprise run. The Atlantic Division is fiercely competitive, with teams like the Toronto Maple Leafs, Florida Panthers, and Ottawa Senators all vying for supremacy. So every move, every story like the Kels rumor, reminds us how unpredictable and exciting this league truly is. This offseason, the Canadiens are also looking to bolster their roster through trades, draft selections, and strategic signings. The management has emphasized the importance of patience and smart decision-making, knowing that building a championship team doesn't happen overnight. They're watching the league, analyzing potential targets, and waiting for the right opportunity to make a splash. While Kels's NFL rumors may seem distant from our hockey world, the principle remains the same. It's all about making bold moves at the right time to elevate the team to new heights. Looking ahead, Montreal fans are hoping that their team can leverage the momentum of these offseason stories, stay focused, and come into the next season with renewed energy. The goal is clear: a return to the playoffs and a deep run that can put the Canadiens back in the spotlight. Whether it's through developing their young core or making a key trade or signing, every step taken now is aimed at creating a team that can contend for the Stanley Cup once again. And as always, we'll be here, covering every twist and turn, sharing insights and celebrating every victory, no matter how big or small. As we wrap up, I want to stress how important it is for us, as Canadiens fans, to stay connected, stay informed, and keep our passion alive. The NHL offseason is full of surprises, and stories like the NFL's Kels trade rumors remind us that sports are unpredictable and thrilling. We live for these moments, these debates, and these hopes that someday soon, our team will hoist the Stanley Cup once more. So keep your eyes on the news, stay engaged, and remember that the future is always bright for the Montreal Canadiens. We're all in this together, and the best is yet to come. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Montreal Canadiens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Montreal Canadiens news.